Good afternoon, everybody. First of all, I'd like to give you a warm welcome to this webinar about retail intelligence by Bosch. My name is Luis Gomez, and I'm the responsible vertical manager for retail. One of my biggest tasks is basically understand the market, deploy technology to the sales organizations and to the end users, expertise about retail, the solutions, how the market should be developed. And this is one of the biggest topics that we are going to approach today. I have a presentation where I'm going to be focused on the retail intelligence, so solutions that at this moment retailers are looking for to expand their business, to increase their turnover, as well to increase the efficiency. You will see in a few minutes during the presentation. If you have any questions, please, you can use the chat that at the end of the presentation I will answer. If it is very urgent and they want to interrupt me, please do, so no worries as well. And you have to unmute your speaker. So let's start. Retail intelligence. Everybody already listened at a lot of times that IoT will be the future, or is already the future, let's put it this way. More and more on the retail stores, everything is connected to the network. And retailers, when they have a lot of devices connected to the network, they start wondering how they can use the data that those devices generate. Because if they can use the data, they can look to that data and take decisions based on the data to their business. So that is the biggest challenge, is that to take the right decisions based on the data that is on the stores. When I talk about stores, could be a shopping center, could be a supermarket, could be a fashion or electronic store, doesn't matter, because all these stores at this moment, they have devices that are connected to the network. The data, as I already mentioned, is one of the key points to manage the business. And the biggest challenge is understand the data and take the right decision on that. So to take about the first part of the presentation on our mission, vision and sales proposition, how Bosch can contribute to support retailers on their business. The presentation will be shared afterwards, but I like to be focused on the last point, that is our sales proposition. That we sell solutions based on customer needs. What exactly does it mean? It means that we, Bosch team, we develop solutions based on the pain points or on the needs that the customer talk to us. So we are very close to the end user, of course, as well to the system integrators, all the players in the market, but mainly the end user. And we discussed a lot regarding what are the needs of the customer, to try to understand, because any business has some specific needs, and only based on those needs, afterwards we develop a solution together with the customer, and that could be a security and safety solution, could be a data analytics, could be even energy efficiencies. Doesn't matter for us, because we work with several ecosystems in a retail store, and we will see as well on the presentation. What does it mean? Does it mean that we, at this moment, the Bosch team, can really support retailers in all the moments inside of the store? Let's put it this way. So we are not only looking for safety and security. That was our first approach to the many years ago, because the DNA from Bosch BT is safety and security. But we are using that DNA, and expertise that we gained in the last years on the safety and security part, to add data analytics, to add efficiency control, and to integrate everything on a single platform. So the main topic that you should retain on the first part of the presentation is that Bosch Building Technology is a company that really builds solutions based on customer needs. Some market trends, quite important to understand the environment that we are located. You can see here several numbers and several dashboards. I will point the first two on the left side. That is the 70% of the retailers plan to invest in Internet of Things. So this already gives a big trend to the retail market, that you can see that retailers are really eager to invest a lot on solutions and on devices that can be connected to the network. That is the first biggest trend. What does it mean? Does it mean that is not the connection itself? The reason that is behind it, that they need the information about that those devices will send to the network. That is the key. Not the device connected to the network, but the information that that device will generate. And the second part that is really linked to the first one is that 68% believe that machine learning will improve the customer experience or improve the business. That's another term that you will listen during the presentation, probably you know as well, customer experience. If you think when retailers mention customer experience quite often, what they want to say is that we want that the customers feel really nice in our store. They can really be identified with our brand, because if they are identified, they feel nice, they will come back and they will buy more. That is the customer experience. The customer experience is generate good feelings to the end users, that they can buy more. How they can understand the customers, that is the technology that the retailers need to install to understand the customers inside of the store, to provide the best customer experience that they can have. So another point that I want to highlight is about the online versus offline shopping. During this period of pandemic, of course, the online shopping increased huge compared with the offline, because the stores were closed. But let's forget it a little bit, the actual situation. And a lot of people come to me and say, yeah, but the online stores are growing quite a lot compared with the offline, and the stores will be closed in many years from now. I cannot predict the future, but a lot of statistics says that, as you can see, 89% of the sales at the moment are still made on brick and mortar stores. Brick and mortar means physical stores. First point, indeed, that the online shopping is increasing. That is not a myth; it's really a reality. But what is happening? First of all, people want to feel the product. They want to see it. They want to touch it. They want to be attended by the staff. They want to talk. They want to visit. Listen the comments now in the last months that the people were confined due to the COVID-19. Everybody, I miss to be with people. People like to be with people. So first of all, physical stores will continue. I don't know until when, but I have really the prediction that for many years, and that will continue. What will happen is that the physical stores, they need to be reinvented. Physical stores need to be fancy, need to be attractive, need to be nicer, need to bring customer experience, because only those stores will survive. A store that has all these valuables that I just mentioned, compared with a storehouse that nothing happens there, it looks like a box, that box store will close and the other ones will grow up. So what is key now for retailers is to have a mix between their physical store and the online sales. They should have both. And most part of the retailers are working very well on that point. So they still have physical stores, but they have online sales as well. And now is the challenging. When you buy online, and for instance, I can mention some brands, Amazon, Alibaba, Rakuten, whatever. When you buy online, it's quite easy for the companies to track your profile. As you can see, when you buy through Amazon, if you buy an item, after 2 days or 1 day, they are already suggesting another item to you, and so on and so on, because it's quite easy to track via IT your profile on online store. But that doesn't happen on physical stores. We cannot track everything. We can track a lot of things, and that is the trick. So retailers, they need, and they really want to understand how the customers are moving inside of the stores, how the customers interact with the products, how the customers react on promotions, if the customers return, if they are loyal. So a lot of things can give a lot of information to retailers to build a better business. So for that, we need to support them in technologies. How we will do that? We will see it in a minute during the presentation. How can Bosch really support retailers on track, on customers inside of stores, the movements, if they return, and so on and so on. I'd like to be focused a little bit about the new demands, and very briefly, I already mentioned a lot of them. So customer experience on the right side, I already mentioned. Cost effective, yeah, indeed. Retail market is very, very sensitive to price. Retailers want to sell product, and when they want to spend money on solutions, they are very sensitive to price. So we need to show to retailers that all the solutions that we are providing to them will increase their turnover. And that's the point that we will see it in a minute as well, how we can do that. Store profitability and conversion rates. Indeed, once more again, they want to increase profitability, and the conversion rate is one of the most important key performance indicators for retailers. What does it mean? Basically, is a key performance indicator that is people counting versus the number of people that they buy on the store. So, because what is important for retailers is to understand exactly how many people that enter in my store effectively buy my products. That is the most important. They don't want to know if they have 3,000 people inside of the store, but if the people, no one buys, that is not so important. Yeah, it's important because at the end they will see there is something wrong on their business. But they need to link the number of people inside of the store to the number of people that they buy the products, and then they have this performance indicator. I have a really nice presentation, use cases that you will see exactly to explain this point and how this can influence the overall bottom line sales from retailer. And like I mentioned as well, the big data from different users. So these four circles over here, as you can see, they should be integrated in one single platform. Because why? We don't need to provide, and retailers don't want that, to have 5, 6, or 7 softwares in the house to control each of these blocks. So they want to have completely integrated solutions, because if you have completely integrated solutions, it's easy to take decisions, it's cost effective, and it's fast as well. So it's important that we address all these topics, but at the end, we should supply a platform of software platform together with that everything is interconnected in the same ecosystem. That is a big important value for retailers. So some of the trends I already mentioned to them, but I want to highlight one topic here. Again, Internet of Things in retail will worth 32 billion euros by 2020. So as you can see, this is not really future; it's already happening. What does it mean? That we need to be prepared for all this technology and provide solutions based on IoT. Like I mentioned to you, so Bosch is completely dedicated on this topic at this moment, and we are focusing the 4 pillars strategy that we think that can give a complete scope to the retailers. So one is customer experience. I already touched this point. Operational efficiency as well. So we need to have data, and we need to have devices that can increase our efficiency. That's why the retailers invest money on that. Security and safety solutions, this is our DNA, and we provide, in my opinion, Bosch is one of the suppliers in the market that can provide a complete portfolio for retailers, starting from video, from public address systems, ambience music, access control, fire intrusion, and everything interconnected in one platform. And that all the devices that we provide now can be connected to the network as well, and the digital transformation that I just speak on that point. So we believe, once more again, that digital transformation will improve all the other 3 pillars, and will be the leader for the movement in the market on the next years. Some examples, so I already mentioned before. So We have in Bosch, I have split on the left side the use cases related to the safety and security. On the right side, the use cases related to digital transformation. But this is not, I don't want to show completely a split between them. I want to show them that they are really interconnect more and more. Give you an example. If we use the 360 panoramic cameras, that I will go in a minute as well, in a more dedicated to this solution. But give an example. This is a security solution that we have a camera that can do several streams in the image for security purpose. But the same camera can exactly gives information about heat maps, traffic visualization, people counting, and this can be integrated on the dashboards. So as you can see, the solutions that we are using for safety and security are the products on this case that can be as well give us reports for the digital transformation, and we will see that in a very few moments. Give an example more in detail, like I just mentioned. This is a 360 camera, a fantastic solution for the retail market. Why? Because retail markets, we have big areas, most part of the cases, but we have as well the small stores. And like I mentioned, retailers are very cost sensitive to this. We need, if we can provide solutions that could be very effective and very not only in cost but as well in a work and in a way that can give us a lot more information than only security. Perfect. Concrete example, as you can see, this first picture that we have over here, this is a warehouse, and with only one camera we can see 7 corridors. It's amazing. One camera, 7 corridors can give us already a big reduced number of cameras inside of the store. Then the camera has 12 megapixels of resolution. Why is so important to mention 12 megapixels? Because we can cover details. So we have sharpness image, we have detail, so we don't need to increase the number of cameras, because then if we dewarp the image, as you can see in the bottom, we can have 4 different streams, and all of these streams can be controlled as a PTZ camera. It is a fixed camera, not a PTZ, but we have electronic PTZ independent in each 4 streams, and we can have recorded image without losing any detail, any blind spot. So it's really a fantastic solution for the security part. But now, in the same camera, we can add technology and the digital transformation. If we want, for instance, to understand how the people are moving on these corridors, this is another example. In the right side of in the top, we can really have that data. As you can see, 10% is going to the left, 40% going front, and so on and so on. So why this is important for a retailer? Yeah, product placement. If we know how the people are moving inside of the store, we know where we should allocate the products with highest margin. Because remember, if a person is not seeing the product, probably will not buy it. Why do the retailers use signature on the stores? Because they want to direct customers for some areas inside of the store. So when the customers see a 50% of discount in promotions, they will move very fast on that way. So if we understand how the people move inside of the store, we can change layout of the store. We can adequate the products in the right places. And with a simple change from a product from one side to another, we can increase turnover. We already had a lot of use cases that with retailers and things proved that in the supermarket, we change a product from one side to another side, one corridor to another corridor, and we increased 20% the sales immediately in 1 week. Only changing a product from one corridor to another corridor. And that is really incredible. The system, it pays itself. So if you mention to a retailer that you can influence the turnover and you can understand their business and support them to increase the sales without decreasing prices, doing promotion, only to understand how the people move inside of the store, they will buy the system. So these kind of things you need to support retailers with the solutions. Another example, for instance, facial recognition. This is one of the biggest topics for the moment, and because I think will increase exponentially in the next years. And the reason is quite easy, not only for security purpose. Okay, for the security purpose, you can understand easily why retailers want to do this. According to marketing studies, 3 to 4% of the turnover of a retailer they lose on shrinkage, on loss prevention, so stealing inside of the store. So imagine that 3 to 4% of the turnover they lost because people are stealing inside of the store. It's huge. If it is a big retailer with thousands of stores, it's huge. So if we can support retailers with facial recognition, to creating a white list and black list when some potential criminals return to the store, that the security team could be more alerted and to follow up these guys to avoid that they will steal, that can reduce, if they reduce 1 or 2 or 2%, that will be an increase of that profitability. So, of course, a lot of things and other topics can raise like GDPR, but I can tell you that at this moment, this is GDPR compliant, first of all, because we can check vectorial the faces of the persons, and we don't identify the persons. We can put tags on the persons, like person number 1 or person A, B, C, and what is happening when that person returns to the store. What will be alerted in the system will be person number 1 is returning to the store. So we don't know, and we are not identifying if it is Antonio or John or other. We know that person number 1 is returning to the store, and that is completely according to GDPR. So that's not a problem. One part of facial recognition is for security purpose, like I mentioned, and this is, I can tell you that is increasing quite a lot. A lot of supermarkets and retail stores are using this technology already. Other topic could be for marketing purpose. Give an example. If you want to understand if a loyal customer is returning to your store, if you want to understand how many males are or females, gender identification, demographics, the age, the profile of the customers that are in your store, you can do it with facial recognition. And that using the same camera that is doing for loss prevention. So you don't need to use one camera for loss prevention, another camera for data analytics. The same camera that is doing loss prevention is doing as well data analytics for you. So the solution is very effective and could do both technology in one shot only. Another topic about solutions is about video masked. So again, GDPR rules. This is a request mainly for shopping centers, but as well could be worked for supermarkets, for clothing store, electronics, doesn't matter. But shopping centers, most part of the time, are requesting this. What does it do? So imagine that the police is asking the image, video footage for in a shopping center. We can mask the faces of the persons to granted the privacy that the police will not use these faces for any other purpose. So what does it mean? In the software, we can even select which persons we can mask and which persons we shouldn't be masked. So what does it mean? Imagine that the police suspect that this guy made some burglars inside of a shopping, so we can mask all the other faces and only keep the face of that person that is not masked to see what is doing. So this is another topic on the technology that is quite demanding for the moment, and that Bosch can provide together with partners, using quite easily the software and the cameras by Bosch. Okay. I like to highlight another solution that is quite important for retailers. That is the integration of systems. I mentioned this in the first part of the presentation. And Bosch, at this moment, with a fire panel that FPF 5000 can be directly connected to the public address systems or the ambience music that are inside of the store. So what does it mean? That it's only an IP cable, like the connection, so it's not needed to have a amount of cables or a big installation. No, that is the biggest advantage. Once more again, Bosch is thinking about flexibility, cost effective. Only one cable between the fire panel and the public address system that can work in the system. What does it mean? If there is a fire alarm, automatically a voice alarm message could be spreading around the shopping on the store. I like to remind you that people, and that this is studies, and we already did a lot of tests on that, Bosch even itself, react much better to the voice that to a sound of a buzzer. Imagine if there is an alarm inside of a shopping center. An alarm inside of a shopping center of a siren, a buzzer, can create panic or can create nothing. So the people could have both reaction, or they listen the buzzer and they don't do anything. They stay exactly, they look, but they don't do anything, or can generate panic. If there is a sound system, a public address system that can send a message to the audience and say, please calm, this is only a test, or there is a fire, please go to the nearest exit, and so on, the people react much more to voice and to commands than a sound. So Bosch is providing that technology. And the best of this technology is that we don't need again two systems. So the system of public address that can send this alarm message is the same system that we can provide ambience music to the stores, to a shopping center, to a supermarket. So cost effective, only one solution that can provide several outputs to the customer. Another fantastic solution is about the video surveillance combined with fire detection. This is a fantastic solution by Bosch, and we are selling quite a lot these solutions, especially for shopping centers. And I will very explain to you exactly the use case. If you remember in the beginning of the presentation, I spoke a lot about customer experience. Shopping centers are the most buildings at this moment, they are really focused on customer experience. Why? Because they need to have people inside of the shoppings. Remember that the companies, the real estate investors that they build the buildings on shopping centers, they have tenants or stores inside of the shoppings. So they need to maximize the investment. So they need to bring stores to inside of the shopping, but afterwards to have the stores over there, they need customers. So they need to bring customers inside of the store. So, and because of, if it is a standard shopping, that there is nothing new there, there is nothing new, not fun inside of the shopping, the people don't go to the shopping. They go to the beach, they go to a cinema, to go to whatever. So the architecture of our shopping centers is changing quite a lot in the last years. And I have projects at this moment in Spain, for instance, to give an example, that there is a surf track inside of a shopping center. So you can do surf on the beach, but at this moment in Spain that we will build a shopping center with surf inside of the shopping. What do you think? Do you think that the people are going there because it's attractive, and they will, of course they will surf and they can buy and so on? But there is a reason to go to the shopping. In US, that is Miami World. If anyone wants to explore on Google, there will be one of the biggest shopping centers in the world. There will be a water park inside of the shopping with a hotel as well. And in South Africa, there will be a hospital inside of the shopping. So you see, there is always other business connected to the shopping center. So big buildings to attract people inside of the shopping. And the big buildings have architecture design very, very interesting sometimes. And most part of them, they are big open spaces with very high ceilings, as you can see this in the picture over here. So very high ceilings brings a lot of challenge to the security people. Why? Because imagine that you put a normal or standard detector, fire detector, on the roof of this shopping center here. Do you know how long it will take if there is a fire on the ground floor to the detector detect that there is a fire? That sometimes could take 10 minutes, depends on the size of the fire. But if it is a big fire, that could be completely destroy the shopping until the fire the detector detects that. So using video verification for smoke and fire from Bosch, this camera over here that can be used for security purpose as well, the smoke and the fire could be detected in around 10 to 30 seconds. And that can avoid a lot of damage and even to save human lives. So for this type of environments on shopping centers, this is a perfect solution to have. The camera can detect and can be connected to the central system and to the fire panel as well, and can give a very extra support to the security team in the shopping centers. I already mentioned to you about the connection and IoT. So as you can see here, this is an example of a supermarket, but could be any other building. You have here a lot of topics like facial recognition, retail analytics, intrusion panels, stock delivery, energy efficiency, whatever. If retailers are looking to all these topics, and if Bosch can support retailers on the integration, even solutions that nothing to do with security or even data in one single platform, this will be a big advantage for you to sell to the retailers and to retailers to understand that Bosch could be a partner to them. So we can provide solutions that can integrate all these topics in one software platform. Once more again, we design solutions, so we don't have out of the box, so we don't push retailers out of the box. No, we design solutions together with you, and basically we connect everything together in one software platform. Let me give you some more details about shopping centers and how they look and how they want to connect as well the digital transformation to their complete portfolio. So on the left side, as you can see, we have our products about safety and security. So we have the cameras, we have the public address, the fire system, and the intrusion. So you know this part quite well. And on the right side, we have the data intelligence. I already told you that with the products on the left side, we generate data that can bring these dashboards over here on the right side. So why shopping centers want to monitor traffic? I told you that there is shopping centers, there is stores inside of the shopping centers, and they want to understand how the people move inside of the shopping, to which corridor they go, where there is more traffic, where there is less traffic. Why? Because shopping centers managers, they sell spaces. So the stores that are inside of the shoppings, they pay rent. If we can go to the tenants and say, hey, if you want to rent this store on this location in the shopping, you have to pay this amount because here there is a lot of traffic. And in the past, these discussions were quite strong between the shopping centers managers and the tenants. Why? Because there was no data. There was no way to prove that there was a lot of traffic on that corridor. And that was only based on guessing. At this moment, with the technology that we can support and offer, we can really tell to the shopping center managers where are more people inside of the shopping, at what time of the day. We can even give times and so on than during the week. So we can create even heat maps, and we can measure as well the footfall. So meaning all this integration solution, they can generate dashboards and data that when they go to the shopping, to the meetings with the tenants, they can really go with facts and figures. And with facts and figures, it's easy to negotiate highest rents and higher turnover. So as you can see, once more again, the security technology is not only doing security, it's doing as well data intelligence that will increase and support retailers in their business to increase turnover. Only a brief explanation of how this can be done. So we have the cameras on the left side over here, a panoramic camera, but could be any camera from Bosch, so that doesn't matter. But what we do, we collect position data, we analyze it in the cloud. We have both solutions. We have cloud-based solutions and we have server-based solutions. So we have even a hybrid model. For us, doesn't matter, depends what customer desire. And afterwards, we can create dashboards to analyze all the information and gives the information very detailed to the people to take decisions. Parallel to this, our solutions can have as well the video stream for the security purpose. So once more again, as you can see during the presentation, Bosch is always thinking about not only providing one solution to the retailers. Once more again, we are very cost effective. We are very cautious about and conscious about the retailers' requests. So we don't deliver only a single solution. We deliver public address together with ambience music. We deliver fire detection with video verification. We deliver security surveillance with data analytics. So there is always more than one single solution that Bosch can offer to the market. Okay, let me give a little bit more explanation also about some use cases related about people counting and the conversion rate that I mentioned to you, and how we can use all this technology really on real life. So remember that I mentioned in the beginning of the presentation that conversion rate is one of the most important key performance indicators that retailers analyze. They want to effectively know which percentage of people that enter in the store effectively buy. So the solution of people count, so we use cameras, as you can see here in the picture, and we can easily identify how many people enter, how many people get out. We can display this on dashboards during the day, during the week. So for us, it's quite easy, and we can create very nice dashboards on that. Let's go more in detail about this solution. This is an example of a dashboard. And what we have here, we have on the left side of the image, we have percentage of people that go left and go right. A simply easy solution. So once more again, if we know that 77% of the persons are going left, what does it mean? Does it mean that we need to put the products with higher margin over there? If we want to change the layout of the store, we need to put as well signals on the right side to move the people to the right side. So we have on the entrance, we can immediately identify how the people are moving in on the store. We can identify here as well the footfall. So what during the day, where are the peaks? So as you can see, it is around 11:30, where there is more people. What information can give me? I need to have more staff to attend people on this way. Heat maps, conversion rates, I will go on detail in a minute, and demographics. So we can, on this dashboard over here, we have a lot of information, and this is an example of dashboard, could be customized. But here you have most part of managing your business, and you can take a lot of decisions only looking to this. Let's go for a concrete example about conversion rate, and let's compare the conversion rate between 4 stores. This is a clothing store, and as you can see, we have here 1, 2, 3, 4 stores, and more or less the number of people are equal in all of them. So 467 on the first store, on this Mile End store 534, but look to the conversion rates. All the other stores has 9.38, so more or less in line, but this store has 5.3% of conversion rate. So almost half of the conversion rate. So people are buying much less on this store. But in terms of number of people that enter in the store, there is a lot. As you can see, 534. So even higher than the first store. So let's try to understand what could influence that, because this is a retail chain that has the same store layout, the same products in terms of clothes, everything is the same. So what is influenced this so negative about the conversion rate? Let's give an example. So this some more details dashboard. So as a store manager, I start to look with the footfall, and as I can see, the Mile End store is this purple color. So in terms of footfall, the Mile End is more or less in line with other stores. So there is no problem in terms of the number of people that enter in the store. So this is okay. Let's go deeper. Okay, conversion rate dashboards. Here there is a problem. We see that the other 3 stores are more or less in line with the conversion rate, but Mile End has very low conversion rate, so almost half of it. Let's go more in detail. Let's analyze demographics. That can give you more in detail. So the first graph of demographics is another store. As you can see that 40% first of all, there is 50% men and 50% women. So is equal in terms of the number of men and women. But let's look to the age, 25 to 35%, 25 to 35 years old, 40%. And here is the same around the women. So what does it mean? In terms of age, the biggest share of people that are buying are between this range of age. If we look to Mile End, where we have the problem, as you can see, the biggest range is people lower or until 25 years old. And that could start immediately gives an indication to the retail manager saying, okay, I can see that the most part of the people that visit my store are young people, adolescents, probably adolescent people or teenager. What does it mean? Does it mean that first of all, they don't have some buying power. And secondly, probably the products that are displayed on this store are not so attractive to this range of age. And third one, that this store mile hand is located near a school. So what does it mean for me, a retailer? I have two options here, or three options. Or I change the store from to another location, not to near the school, if I want to increase the conversion rate, or I change my product layout, or I basically try to reduce the prices and see if there is any increase in terms of sales and as well the margin. Because to do some promotions here, I can identify immediately that I have a problem in my conversion rate because the age of the people that is visiting my store is different from the other ones. And I need to change my strategy on this store if I want to keep my profitability. So, as you can see, with all this detailed information, we can easily understand why the business is moving in the right direction or is not moving on the right direction, and we can take actions. If we don't have these tools, we are just guessing once more again, because we think that could be the reason, but with the tools that we are studying, demographics, people counting, and conversion rate, we can easily take a lot of assumptions, and basically on those assumptions, of course, we can take decisions and we can correct during this period. So how great this is for retailers is fantastic, and can really influence the bottom line, and very, very easy can justify the investment on these systems. Another example is about queues. It's important to reduce queues. So retailers, they don't like to have long queues, because if you have long queues, people go away. They need fast checkouts. So we can analyze queues as well. And if we need to open another point of sales, we can send information to the mobile phone of the retailers to give, please open a new cash register because the queue is longer than 5 persons. We can even analyze and identify trends. So all this information is collected by the cameras, and we display this on dashboards, and we can even supply mobile apps to the store manager staff that can easily, during the day, receiving all the alarms on the mobile phone or on the tablet. They don't need to consult the PC or and so on. So everything will be connected, and it's very fast and very, very reliable to take decisions based on all these movements in the store. Okay, I'm almost finalizing the presentation. I like to create a resume. I show you a lot of technologies, a lot of trends, a lot of solutions, and I want to highlight that Bosch Retail Intelligence footprint is focused on these 4 pillars as well. So on the first one, we have all our products, and our products could be even considered as a sensors with a lot of technology, but they, like I already mentioned and highlighted, they do much more than security and safety, as I already mentioned to you. With the solution of these products, what we collect, the data, is basically the data insights that we can display afterwards in nice dashboards. The third part, that we can integrate third-party systems, softwares, and solutions in our solution. Give an example. If we want to integrate the point of sales to give the conversion rate, we can do that. That's not a problem. And last but not least, the information regarding facial recognition that can do a lot of things, not only for loss prevention, but to identify as well marketing purposes regarding returning customers, demographics analysis, even to create a customer database. Everything GDPR compliant, because once more again, we don't identify the customer, we just put tags, could be customer number 1 or A, B, or C. Of course, if we want to identify the customer and connect this to loyalty cards, that should be consented by the end user. So everything can be done on that way, but we need to comply with GDPR in Europe. In other regions, we need to comply with the legislation in each country on that way. To finalize the presentation, I like to highlight the new platform and the new generation of cameras that will appear this year. like I already mentioned to you, we are using a lot of technology based on cameras, and Bosch launched this year the INTEOX platform. What does it mean? The INTEOX platform is an operating system that the cameras has inside, is an Android platform. And to give an example, what is the potential of this Android platform inside of the cameras? Does it mean that we could put applications inside of the camera? Works more or less like a mobile phone when you have an Android and go to Google Play Store, that you download an application and insert in your phone. The INTEOX platform will allow that. Developers around the world develop applications, and you can insert that application inside of the camera. And what type of application? This is an example, already exists, this retail apps available, could be analyze flow of people counting, mass detection, traffic analysis. So a lot of applications could be downloaded and put in the camera. This is video analytics and analytics on the edge. So we will not need any extra servers in the future to run the applications, because the applications will be on the camera, and that will give a very extra power to the market and to the retailers, because when they are going to use Bosch cameras, and Bosch is really pioneer on this technology, what will happen? It will be future proof for investment. So imagine that a retailer buys a system today and wants to have a people counting solution or even a mass detection or other in the future. Just download the app, pay the royalty of that app, and that's it. And next year wants to have a different app on the camera, can do it, and so on and so on. So this is really a disruptive technology. Bosch is on the leadership of that, and the first cameras are planned to be launched this year. Is mentioned here Q2. This is a little bit delayed at this moment due to this COVID and all this stuff, but for sure the cameras will be launched this year. And you could have access to all these platforms and apps available on the store, and give you really a lot of insights on your business. Thank you very much. This is my LinkedIn profile if you want to connect and put me questions. I hope that you enjoy the presentation. And any question, I'm happy to answer now. If you don't have questions, you can send me afterwards as well your feedback by email or questions. I'm fully available to support and to answer to all your doubts. Thank you very much.